Hello.
Hello,
Hey, how's it going?
everything's going well. How are you doing?
I'm great. I'm Jackson. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I think
Oh,
Prema, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, there. Yeah, I had a little problem with my camera. It's still not doing well. Let's see if I can. Okay, I think that's as good as we're going to get it. Ah, there's
Good.
Adrienne. Wonderful.
Great. I'm gonna make you all co-host. And then anything that you guys need specifically for your session, do you want your participants to be able to mute and unmute themselves, to be able to turn their cameras on and off? Are you gonna wanna like talk and interact with people?
Okay, I don't think I need them to talk.
Okay,
Maybe at the end, if we have time at the end, we can ask for questions, or we'll
Okay.
see how we go, because we've never done this before on Zoom.
okay,
So we don't know how it's going to work, and we
Right.
don't know how long each dance is going to take, or
okay,
I would like to be able to switch to gallery view. I know Media is going to do the spotlighting, but also when we're dancing, it would be nice to switch to gallery view. I think we can just do that, yeah?
yes. So you can control, everyone will be able to control their own view, but if you want to spotlight people, then those people will pop up, no matter what view it's in.
Okay, so no matter what view it's in, the spotlight will show a spotlight.
Yes.
But if we want gallery view, we have to ask everyone to put gallery view on.
Yes, so you can ask everyone to please, go to view and switch to gallery view so you can see, as many people's screens as possible. And then is
Right.
there a limit for the attendees for this workshop? Remind me.
No,
No, there's not.
no,
Okay.
there's no limit. Do you have a sign up sheet? Do you have any idea if people have actually signed up for this particular class?
I can't see the registrations for this. I won't be able to see that until after. So I will be able to see like how many people attended, but I'm not able to see specifically how many people signed up in advance. I just can see how many people signed up for the whole conference.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So we have some text that we want them to be able to see while we are singing and dancing. So we thought we should put it as a chat, put it in the chat panel.
Okay.
Do you think, does that sound like a good idea to you?
Yeah. Is it a document or are you just going to copy and paste it directly into the chat?
Well, it can be whatever is most efficient. I want them to be able to see it. So I thought I would do it in sections and paste it into the chat, but I found that really cumbersome yesterday. I was trying it out. And do you know I'm turning on my chat right now.
Mhm.
When you make a post in the chat,
Mhm.
can you remove it?
No.
Because I couldn't figure that out. No, you
No.
can't.
If you, instead of copying and pasting each section though, you can share, it gives you an option. There's like, when you go to the chat, you'll see something that looks like a little page. And if you click that, it will allow you to select the document from, your device, wherever it is, and share the whole
So
document.
they'd be able to see the document while we're dancing?
So yeah, so essentially you'd be like giving them a copy of it that they could open on their own device. So if you have it, you can send it to me and I can put it in there. If you can.
The problem with that is that if they, even if it's a PDF and it opens in preview, let's say, then preview would be what's open and not Zoom.
Yeah, you can have more than one window open on your computer.
Yes, I guess you can. Most computers are a little small for that to be able to see.
Really, whatever
let
you
me send you-
prefer. That's my solution if you don't want to use the chat. If you want to use the chat, if that's what you prefer, then
Well-
totally use the chat.
Okay, let's try. So there's the
You can try
first
sending
one.
it. You can actually try just sending it to us right now.
Okay, you mean try putting it up on the chat right now?
Mhm.
Yes, that's what I'm trying to do. And I just did it and it's not appearing.
Did you send it to everyone?
Yes,
Everyone in meeting?
this was the problem I was having yesterday. The chat was really ponderous and not. And then when oh, there it is. Okay, it's definitely there. And I think the way to, I'll try again.
One moment. I'm just going to grab a tissue. I'll be right back.
Yes. Yes, I hassled with this for an hour yesterday and didn't have much success. So, and here we are. I mean, do you
Prema,
see any chat?
No, I think the good idea, if you give to him, when we are explain, they can put in the chat and the people can open in their own computer. Because if you put now, when start to come people, they won't see the one that you put before.
Okay, so I should send it to him.
I think.
But see, I'm over here where he said, here's the little page thing. I open the page thing and it says Dropbox, Microsoft OneDrive, Google Drive, Box, Microsoft SharePoint. So that doesn't make sense to me. What I can do though, is I can send it to Jackson
Yep.
as an email.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you can somehow figure out how to make this available, either putting it on chat or, because I just tried to do the chat with my system and it's not showing.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I don't know whether there's something wrong with me or, let's see, here we go.
No worries.
Okay, so I'm sliding this over to my mail program. Oh, don't tell me that disappeared also. I've been having computer issues today. Oh dear. All
That's
right,
okay.
so that's not happening. Let's try. I'm so glad we have a bit of time before things are actually supposed to happen.
Now, aside from this text, is there any other media that you're going to be using? Or you said you're using music, right?
Yes, Miri will be running the music for, Adrienne, did you want to run your own music?
No, I'm fine with Miri running it.
Okay. Would you like to go ahead and test and just make sure that your audio's all good to go? Excuse me.
That's a really good idea.
Shri Ram Ahura.
You hear that?
Yep, that's it.
Perfect.
Shri Ram, Jai Ram. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Miri, try Beauty Way. That one was very low in sound. I don't know if it needs to be up, low in volume.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, Jackson, so I'm sending this to you. Let me know if you receive it. So I wonder where Parvati is. I wonder if one of us needs to call her. Do you have her phone number? Yeah, give
I
her
have
a
it.
call. She should have been here.
Did you send it to Jackson at VM Producers?
I sent it to the last
Let's see.
email. Let's see. Jackson from Sakyadita International Association of Buddhist Women.
I think that's it's like, that's like an auto-generated email from the conference website. So if you could send it to my direct email, do you want me to put it in the chat for you?
No, it's better if you send me an email.
Okay, what's your email address?
Prematara@mac.com.
Pramatara, I've got, hold on.
Okay, so are you Jackson ready? Jackson at vmproducers.com?
Yep,
Is that you?
that's me.
Okay, all right. So we'll do it again.
Thank
Yippee.
you.
Okay. Wait a second. This is not it.
So Parvati is trying to get on. She's having trouble with the password. She said yesterday she was able to copy and paste it, but today it's not allowing her to do that. She's uncertain of, like if they're L's or ones.
Let me see.
And I didn't know if I could just give her mine or if.
You could, I was gonna say I can email, it's, the email I have for her is parvati@taradancing.com. I can send her another
Okay,
direct invitation.
another link.
Thanks for calling her, Adrienne. That was good. Okay, so now I just sent it to your direct email address. Let's see if that works.
Okay, give me one sec.
So Miri, we can start with all four of us on the screen, and I'll just talk a little bit. No, you don't want to do that. I just want to introduce you.
I need to
I
try
want to introduce.
how we can do. If I'm trying to see if we have option to spotlight 4, because here for a moment I can't see, but let's try. When you open for everybody, I will try to
Do
put.
it right now. Do the spotlight right now.
Oh, the spotlight I can do. I'm safe for 4 people, Prema. Look.
1. Okay.
Okay. Oh yes, now I
2.
3, 4. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. So I will start with the 4 of us. And I will just introduce the title of what we're doing. And Adrienne, you're certified, right? In the Dances of Universal Peace? You are
No,
not certified.
Not certified.
Okay, so then I won't bring that up.
Okay.
Because I don't know if Parvati is either.
Okay,
Okay, so we are experienced leaders of the dances. How's that?
yes.
Okay. Yeah, because I know Miri and I are certified, but it's not.
And I
doesn't
am
matter.
official. I mean, I pay my dues and I'm listed on there, you know, but I'm not certified. Up to date, you know what I mean?
Right.
So
Okay,
did that,
and
did you all see that document pop up?
Just a minute, let's see.
yes, I
Okay,
see the
and
document. but
Can you click on
Will
it?
it open?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
why. Will you
It's
click on?
open.
Okay, great.
Okay, so if I click on it, it opens, but you all disappear.
It can be
That was what
moved
I
to the side. The screens overlap, so it can be moved. The windows overlap.
Right, you should be able to have two different applications open at the same time.
Right, but it's, I don't see that this is going to be functional. So Jackson, could you try to paste this into the chat in sections?
Sure. Are you gonna let me know like what section goes where?
Just from the top to the bottom. The first section is the description with the links. The second is the invocation. And then each one of the dances is numbered.
Okay,
Parvati has arrived. That's great. If you could do that, that I think would work best for what we're trying to accomplish.
I think we should do,
But
I think some people will be able to use their computers. So I think it's good to give people options.
yeah, well, you can certainly leave what you've done on. That looks, you're right. That gives them that option. Yeah, see on my screen, because I'm on a laptop, it's so small, it simply doesn't function. I did get the chat to work finally yesterday, but I made so many mistakes and I couldn't erase them. So if you could do that in sections, that would be so helpful. Hi, Parvati. Midi, will you spotlight Parvati as well as the rest of us? Great. So of course, when we start, it'll just be the four of us. So that'll line up nicely on the screen. And as I was saying, Parvati, we'll start. I'm just going to announce who we are, what we're doing and who we are. And when I say your name, you can wave. And then when I finish introducing you and talk, then Midi, you can just spotlight me. And then I'll talk a little bit about the dances. I'm not going to say very much, so you can say as much as you want. I'm just going to mention Murshid Sam. I'm going to mention the organization that started out Sufi dancing, and then it turned into the Dances of Universal Peace, this international phenomena. And then I will invite everyone to talk a little bit about the invocation. And then I'll invite everyone to say the invocation after me. So I'll go, slow, and then I'll lead my dance. And then for each dance, I will introduce whoever is going to lead it. So for instance, when I finish, I'll say now Miri Dakini is going to lead a Buddhist dance and so forth. And I'll also try to remember to tell them that we're trying to be inclusive. So we've tried to represent the different major religions of our country. Okay. Comments? Yeah, sounds like we're doing okay.
You want to play your own music? Or you want me to play for you? No, the way is
We
better.
can't hear you, Parvati.
I'm happy to play it. That way it's synced up with my movements better. Thank you.
That's great. Yeah, yeah. Yes, and I'm happy not to play it, whether my movements are synced or not. It's just too much for me to think about. So we'll have to live with each other. Okay, and any comments? How's it been going, Jackson? Have things been working well?
Things have been going really well. I feel like there have been great attendance at all of the sessions that I've been on. There are other producers, but I think attendance has been really great. And it seems like people are really enjoying the content. So far, so good. you know?
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah,
Any
it's a wonderful organization.
other technical things that anyone needs to go over? Any questions you have? No? Okay. We have 10 minutes, so we'll start right at the top of the hour, and I will open, so people are in the waiting room, so I'll disable the waiting room so people can come in. And you guys can take it from there. I'll let you know, I'll cue you and I'll say, okay, I'm opening the room, and then it's your show. But I'll be here the whole time, so if at any point you need something, you just call out and I will reappear.
Okay, this is good because sometimes my internet is unstable and I could just easily disappear. So if that happens, then I'm going to ask one of you to take over. So I know Miri doesn't want to be the one because of the English. So Adrienne, can you do that? If I disappear?
Okay. I'm hoping not, but
Yes, I
I'll
hope
do it.
not, but
Do it.
it's happened before.
I know.
So
It happens. No one tells the internet what to do.
Yes,
Um,
I have my list.
yeah, very good.
Okay.
also,
If you do disappear, would Parvati, would you lead Prema's dance? Well, hopefully the first one will go through and then the other one would be the Omaha.
Yeah, I'm happy
Right,
to
if
leave
we
Oma home.
disappear,
if
let's
that
try to
happens.
schedule it.
Yeah, if that
What was
happens, but yeah, hopefully not.
Okay, and then I'll do the introductions in between.
Okay, okay, great.
Yes, and the Tara dance, you know, I am doing 3, and the Tara dance is a version that we do 3 times.
Okay,
So we do the 3 different things 3 times.
this is the one recorded in South America, yeah. So
Yeah.
we do that. The Phoenix Circle does that one every time we meet. So we got a
Okay,
lot
great.
of people used to it. Thank you for that.
Perfect. So if necessary, great, then you could lead the dances and you've got the music.
Mhm.
And Parvati, and Adrienne, you could be the hostess. Okay, so Miri, you can unspotlight Jackson.
Yes? It's okay.
Well, no, I still see his name there.
you'll see me,
shouldn't.
but I'm not spotlit. So if you don't want
Right.
to see, you have the option to be able to remove people who are don't have their cameras on. You have to hide those speakers in your settings though, but no one else will see me.
So in Spotlight though, wouldn't the rest of the gallery be hidden?
So if people will be able to control their own view, essentially. So you can ask them to put it in gallery view, and then Zoom gives you an option to hide participants that are not on camera. So any non-video participants, but again, that's something people have to choose themselves on their own computers. If they have that option chosen, then they won't see anyone whose camera isn't on. But no matter what, so even if I switch my view to the speaker view, I'm still going to see all 4 of you because all 4 of you are pinned. So even if someone doesn't put it in gallery view, we will always see the 4 of you is the point. That's why you guys are pinned, because people are going to be able to switch it. You might say, hey, can you put it in gallery view? But someone might be like, I don't want to, or whatever. So, but no matter what view they put it in, because you're pinned, you're always going to show up. Does that make sense? So
Right.
if you switch your view right now, if you switch your own view from gallery view to speaker view, you're still going to see all 4 of you.
I am in speak and I put spotlight for each one. So-
Right. So that means no matter what view it's in, they're always going to see all 4 of you.
Okay.
But if I switch it from speaker to gallery or gallery to speaker, Jackson, you still show up, your black square still shows up.
Yeah, because you haven't changed your settings to hide non-video participants.
I can do that, but I need to know if it's okay, Prema, because if people come without the video, but during the session want to open the video, if I do this in the setting, it's a little trick for me to go and back.
Right.
So you
Yeah.
decide.
What I'm saying is you manage that on your own. I can't control that for you. You have to change those settings on your own.
Yes.
Yes, exactly.
What happens, Midi, if you just spotlight me right now? Okay. Okay. Now add Parvati. Add yourself. And add Adrienne. Okay, so that eliminates Jackson as part of the opening screen. That was what I wanted to see. Okay, so Midi, after I give after I say what the website is and that it's in the chat panel, that they'll be able to see all the different words and links and so forth, then you can just put it on me and I'll talk about the invocation and I'll lead my dance. And then when I finish, when I introduce you, you can spotlight yourself and take me off. And we'll just go all the way through like that.
Okay.
I might, now when we're actually dancing to the music, I would like to see gallery view. So I will say to everybody before we do the music, okay, now if you'd like to, for us to dance together, you have to put your computer on gallery view and you take me off spotlight then. Okay?
Okay, if something's happened, if I little late to put, I need to organize music and also to the spotlight. So, and I put silence begin before start the dance, each dance, okay? In this way, everybody can organize themselves.
So, relax, Midi. Just, it's really okay. We can't do this wrong because it's never been done before. So whatever we do is right. Whatever we do is perfect. The important thing is, we keep our hearts open in the spirit of what it is that we're offering. The universality of sacred dance and sacred chant. It's wonderful. Yeah, so I noticed what's that, darling?
I was going to say, and it's okay to have space. It's okay to have space in between while we're waiting for you to get what you need. And just, we'll hold that space as sacred.
Yes. I watched Lecce Tsomo yesterday and Pema Kadro. And Lecce, she had trouble getting her computer set up the way she wanted it and turning on her microphone. She started talking without any microphone. So, it's okay. We're just people doing our thing. There's no expectation of everything being perfect. Okay, the moment has arrived.
All right, are we ready to open up the room?
We're ready.
All right.
To you. Yes,
Okay,
Keep all four of us.
I'm admitting everyone now.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome. We're so pleased to be able to share with you something that's very precious to our hearts, which is the Dances of Universal Peace. We offer this in the spirit of opening our hearts to all of the traditions of the world. The traditions of the world that in each culture, everyone is seeking the highest expression of their humanity. Everyone is seeking to be happy, and the guidance from the elders, the guidance from the awakened ones within each culture offer so many different things. So before we start, I'd like to introduce you to my wonderful friends. To my, well, let's see, to my right over here, this is Parvati, and down below Adrienne, and then to the side is Miri. So Miri is from Brazil. So we are very privileged to have each one of these wonderful beings with us today. And we will each be sharing some of our very special pieces. So I want to talk a little bit about the Dances of Universal Peace. In the chat panel, you will find a document. And in that document, there are links that will allow you to go online and contact our organization, which is Taradatu. We specialize in sacred dance, specifically the dance of Tara, but also the Dances of Universal Peace are included within our scope. So Miri is going to spotlight me now, and I'm going to launch into our presentation. First, I want to say a little bit about the history of the dance. It was created, or it was birthed, you might say, by a man who came to be known as Murshid Sam. He was an eccentric fellow, respected in several of the great world's traditions as a leader, a guide, and he had the inspiration of bringing these dances from the heart of God to share, and he shared them in the park. He was living in the Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area, and he gathered a group of young people around him. He was a visionary, and he said that this was going to go all over the world. And in fact, he is correct. It's in almost every country of the world, a circle of sacred dancers dancing the dances of universal peace. The goal of the dance, the goal of this particular, is to tune in to the essence of a culture beyond thought, in the sense of there's no calculating, there's no conceptualizing. There is simply the feeling tone of what it's like to worship with these words, these mantric words from the different traditions, and these symbolic gestures, so that we feel it in our body. Not only do we express it with our voice, but we feel it in our body. And the goal, of course, is that we live together on this earth with mutual respect. Now, before I go into the first dance, I just want to mention that a very great representative of this very concept, Archbishop Desmond Tutu, passed away yesterday. And he was a great friend of His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And so I wanted to dedicate this session to all of the beings that he touched and to him. It's very wonderful. I celebrate all of those who are willing to meet together in the spirit of oneness and the spirit of divine unity. So the Dances of Universal Peace start with an invocation. This invocation, when Murshid Sam originally opened the dances and started the dances, they were called Sufi dances, because it was one of the traditions in which he was a leader, and it represented the unity of all religions. It represented the unity of hearts, went beyond religion. It went to the heart of things. And so the Sufis represent that. But as time went on, in order to be more open, the name was changed to the Dances of Universal Peace. So it starts with an invocation, always these events start. And there are several versions to this. So I noticed in the list of attendees that we have some people who are very familiar with these dances. So you will notice that one or two words are changed, but this is the way I learned, the option that I was given when we were dancing with other leaders, because dance leaders are pretty individualistic. It's one of the fascinating things about the dances is that these amazing beings step forward and choose the dances. There are hundreds and hundreds of dances now. Choose the ones that they want to present in a session such as we're having right now. So we would imagine the dances are, I would say always, but since this is not the case, I was going to say they're always done in a circle with everyone holding hands. But here we are in Zoom land. There's no way that we're going to be holding hands, and there's no way that we're going to be dancing in a circle. So you should know that all of the dances have been modified in order for us to be able to present in this format. We have learned, now this was a big aha for those of us dancing Tara and all of our Tara dances, that we could do this, that in fact we could make a heart-to-heart connection with those who are attending this, our events. And so, although it's the first time we personally have tried it with the Dances of Universal Peace, it's an adventure. Now, because of that, there are a couple of things that are very specific to Zoom. We're all at different time zones. And because of that, we can't possibly get on the same beat. The dances are rhythmic. Usually the musicians, we have musicians in the center of the circle and there's always a drum. Well, even if we have a drum, it doesn't mean that we're all going to be on the same foot at the same time. So we have to relax around that particular issue. But we've discovered that it really doesn't interfere. If we are alert to that's what's happening, it's not that anybody's doing anything wrong. It's just that we are moving in different time zones, and therefore you're hearing the music at a different, sometimes it's almost a second or two completely off. So just be aware of that. So with the invocation, imagine that we are holding hands, but you might want to just put your hands on your heart. Just cross your hands on your heart. That's it. Okay. And you can repeat after me. Toward the one, the perfection of love, harmony, and beauty. The only being, united with all the illuminated souls who form the embodiment of the message, the spirit of guidance. Okay, so now Miri is going to spotlight just me so you can see clearly. The first dance that I want to share is called Universal Worship. And the reason I chose this is because it is invoking some of the major spiritual traditions of our world using sacred words from these traditions. And I was introduced to this particular dance in Nepal, and it was so profound what happened that I wanted to share that story with you so you can keep it in mind while we engage in this dance. The words to the dance are, and I'm just going to show you, Shri Ram, Ahura Mazda, Buddha, Elohim, Alaison, Allah, toward the one. So when we taught this dance, it was at a convention of Asian businessmen. And they were all very serious fellows in their suits and ties and, you know, talking about all the economic conditions of their situation. So I'm not exactly sure why. It was very interesting. The organizer of this decided to invite me and my musician partner to do some dances. So we decided, okay, we don't know, they're from all over Asia, so all different kinds of spiritual ideas. So we thought, okay, hopefully this will cover just about everybody. And we engaged in the dance. At the end, one of the gentlemen came up to me with tears rolling down his cheeks. And he said to me, he said, I'm a Buddhist, but next door to me, my neighbor is Hindu. And on the other side of me, my neighbor is of the religion of Islam. And he said, but I never said their sacred words in my voice. I never said their sacred words in a sacred way. I feel totally different towards my neighbor after having done this dance. So this moved me so deeply that I thought it would be lovely to share it with all of you. So again, let's go through the movements. I'll show you, we can do something by standing up. It's pretty simple. And again, normally this is done walking in a circle, but we're going to just face the camera, but let's just do the mudras. So the first mudra is Sri Ram, which is the Hindu tradition, and we simply bow namaste, Sri Ram. Ahura Mazda, this is a triangle of the Zoroastrians, and we hold this above our head, and you can't see above my head. There we go, hold it above our head. Buddha is the three gestures of refuge. Elohim, we're holding out, this is the Jewish religion, we're holding up the Torah. Alezon, we're opening our arms. This represents the mercy of Christ. Allah, this is the spinning of the wheel of infinite openness. And toward the one means all of us together, all of us together. Okay, so I'm going to stand up and Miri is going to play the music. And I invite you, now you can watch on speaker view, which should be the spotlight if it's helpful for you to see what's happening, or you can go to gallery view and see what, and have the experience, this is what I'm going to do, have the experience of all these radiant beings before you. So the first thing I need to do, however, is make sure you can see me.
Emma, you want me to spotlight you? Or put in
Yes.
gallery?
Spotlight me, and then if they want to do the gallery view, they can. Okay, so let's do this. Let's see how much of my body you can see. Oh, that's good enough. Yeah. Okay, Miri, maestro, if you would play the music.
Shri Ram, Ahura Mazda Buddha, Elohim, Eleison, Allah, toward the one. Shri Ram, Ahura Mazda Buddha, Elohim, Eleison, Allah, toward the one. Shri Ram, Ahura Mazda Buddha,
Elohim Eleison Allah toward the one Shri Ram Ahura Mazda Buddha Elohim Eleison Allah toward the one Shri Ram Ahura Mazda Buddha Elohim Eleison Allah toward the one
So I'd like to thank Jasmine Judith for the beautiful recording of the music. As I say, usually in our circle, we have live music. So that was one of the challenges of our presentation today on Zoom, was to find the music. So we're going to next invoke the Buddhist tradition. Miri Dakini is going to lead a dance, Gate Gate. This is a common mantra in the Buddhist tradition of Prajnaparamita. So she will speak a bit about this. Those of us who have been trained in the dances of universal peace, whenever we receive a dance, we do as much as we can to learn about the culture that it comes from, so that we can authentically share from the heart how we can attune to the spirituality of these beings. Okay, Miri, spotlight yourself, please.
Welcome, everybody. I am in Brazil. I'm a little nervous with my English, but I want to share that dance because in that meditation, because I believe in this moment that all the planet, all of us is living. It's a big challenge, and I believe from our heart, we can transform everything. And I wrote something in English for me to share with you, because I believe that when we invoke the beautiful Prajnaparamita, that great mother can open our heart and we can make difference into the world. And what I will share with you here is Gate, Gate, Paragate, Parasangate, Bodhisvaha. I will say in English, and I ask my Prema or Dhiren or Parvati to correct me if my English is not good to understand. What means is gone, gone, gone over, gone over, gone full over, awakened, so be it. That is the heart of the perfection of wisdom. Before I teach the movement, I would like to share with you the picture of the Prajnaparamita. In this way, I will say some words, and we can, for a moment, bring that understanding and to bring our planet, ourselves, and to do that dance, that movement to all beings. Because when we dance, we sing and we open our heart, we can wake our body, speech, and mind. In this way, we can achieve or go in that path, our true nature. So I will share with you. And for a moment, only look at that beautiful picture. And you can close your eyes, put your hands on your heart, and feel how pressure we are. All the Buddha energy we have and we can share. And each one that we thought you can remind them of their true nature. With this image of this great mother, I read something for you, and after I will teach the movement. The perfection of wisdom is the greatest mantra. It is the clearest mantra, the highest mantra, the mantra that removes all the suffering. All the Buddhas, past, present, and future, rely on the perfection of wisdom and live in the full enlightenment. This is the truth that cannot be doubted. Gate, gate, para sangate, bodhi svaha. Gate, gate, para sangate, bodhi svaha. Gate, gate, para sangate, bodhi svaha. So with that sensation, I will teach you the movement. If you close your eyes, you can open. It's very simple, the movement. And let's start. Because we are talking about the heart, the movement starts from heart to open. Gate, gate. And you step back. 1, 2, 3, 4. What we did? Gate, gate. Para, gate. 4th step. Walk to 4th step. Para, gate. Turn to the right shoulder. Turn. Bodhi, svaha. Again, start to the right. Gate, gate. Para, gate, para, gate. Third, bodhi, svaha. Gate, gate. Para sangate. Para sang. Sorry. Bodhisvaha. So, let's try together. And they begin the music. There is an introduction. And this moment, bring the Prajaparamita visualization. And when you dance, you radiate this love into the world for everybody. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Miri. That was very well done. So for a moment, I would just like everyone to wish Miri a very happy birthday. She was so kind to say yes to this event. I didn't even notice it was her birthday when we said yes. So thank you so much. Thank you so much, Miri. Okay, so Miri, what I've discovered is if we have many people spotlighted, you have to take each one off. So I took everybody off. Now you can put, let's see, who do we have next? Okay, Parvati. So let's spotlight Parvati, and then you can take yourself off, Miri. Parvati is going to share with us, love is the healing power. So just to mention, when the Dances of Universal Peace first started, they were attempting to simply use mantric words in the dances. But we discovered that English also had the power of mantra. And so more and more English dances got created. And it's very wonderful that Parvati is going to share one of those with us right now. So let's see, so Miri, can you spotlight Parvati, please?
I did it in my She is the One. I think you need to put a speaker. If I take her, you come. Yes.
Ah, got it. Okay. Yep.
Okay.
So we want to be able to see Parvati. Thank you.
For anybody that didn't have that screen change naturally, what I did is I put it into gallery view and then put it back into speaker view, and then that shifted the camera focus for me. So this dance is one that is coming to us through the gospel tradition, the Christian gospel tradition. But the words, love is the healing power, and the wisdom, the more you give, the more you get. And so the direction to give your love away is one that is at the heart of all spiritual traditions that I've had the blessing to be connected with in this beautiful global world. The Dances of Universal Peace gives us such an opportunity to really feel deeply, not just think about, not just understand with our heads, but understand in our bodies, and let it saturate us, the wisdom of each of the great world traditions, spiritual traditions. And one of the blessings that the gospel tradition brings to us is the ability to harvest all of life's experiences. This also comes from so many different traditions, right, in different forms, but there is such an emphasis on diving deeply into the joy of life right there in the middle of the storm through the gospel tradition, and to use all of our being to celebrate that connection with one another and with whatever our concept of the inherent interconnectivity is, whether we call that God or some other name. So this is a modification and contemplating how to make a transmission of the experience of the Dances of Universal Peace via Zoom, as Prema so eloquently said. We had to do some rearranging of things. So normally a big part of the experience for the Dances of Universal Peace, as she said, is holding hands with one another and hearing our voices blend with one another. So if you have not been singing along up to this point, I would encourage you to sing out and really feel the reverberation within your being, and let the notes teach you something as they reverberate in your body, in your heart, and in your mind, and let the movement guide you. So without saying anything more, just a deep invitation to get into the joy of this embodied experience. And so love is the healing power. The movements are very simple. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. So give your love away. The more you give, The more you get, the more you give, the more you get, the more you give, the more you get. So give your love away. So we're sort of making a square up to the left, then the right, lower left, lower right, and then opening from the heart up in a circle up to the heavens. And then from the heart opening out to our left. And as we do this, just left and right, we're thinking about the fact that we're giving this love. So you might have somebody in the room with you, or perhaps you can think of neighbors in a neighboring room or building in your neighborhood. But we're offering in all directions our love. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. So give your love away and feel the way that it's like opening your heart, opening the wings of your very being. And then we begin again. So it's a very simple dance, and one that really shows the beauty of the gospel Christian tradition at just diving into the fullness of the human experience. So getting the music here and taking just a moment to feel your own heart, the warmth of your own heart. You can bring your hands to your heart and really just feel the beating of your own heart, knowing that every creature you interact with has the same life force energy beating within their own heart, and that connects to the pulsing of the cosmos, the universe, to this Mother Earth on which we walk.
Parvati, you need to share the music.
Hey, thank you. Thank you. Okay. Technical difficulty. One moment. Operator error for technical difficulty. Thank you. I didn't remember that I need to make a designation in my Zoom setting here for you all to hear my computer now. Thank you, Miri. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. So give your love away. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. So give your love away. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. So give your love away. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. So give your love away. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. So give your love away. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. The more healing power. Love is the healing power. So give your love away. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. So give your love away. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. So give your love away. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. So give your love away. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. So give your love away. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. So give your love away. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. Love is the healing power. So give your love away. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get. So give your love away.
Taking just a moment to have your hands on your heart and let that resonate here in your heart, feeling the interconnectivity with all of the participants here. We have over 70 people gathered all over the planet right now, our hearts linked by this beautiful love, feeling the empowerment in our own being that we may bless and empower all that we encounter. For truly, love is the healing power. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Parvati. That was delicious, truly delicious. So now we are going to have our dear Adrienne in the Hindu tradition with the Ram Nam Pranam.
Ram Nam Pranam in the Hindu tradition is a mantra thousands of years old. The melody is ancient. The words are Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. These words have been used as a prayer for realization and for peace for countless years. It's the personal daily prayer of Hindus, and it is the prayer of Mahatma Gandhi. He called on the name of Rama, the Ram Nam Pranam, in his daily practice, and many believe that he actually uttered the words at the moment of his death. It is said that before he died, he said he hoped that even if he were killed by an attacker, that the words on his lips would be this prayer. The prayer refers to Vishnu, who is the divine one, who is the preserver and protector of creation. But Vishnu incarnates into this realm when there is disorder and when truth and power need to be reestablished in order to have the balance and the harmony. And so Sri Ram is a victory cry to Rama. But in this dance, we acknowledge that this energy, this divine one, is both impersonal, vast, omniscient, untouchable. And when incarnate, when coming into the world, becomes personal, becomes the divine in the person next to you. And so as we dance it, we acknowledge both that impersonal deity, that impersonal divine energy, and the personal divine energy. And so the movements go like this. We're going to, normally we're in a circle and we're bowing to our partner and we're bowing to our neighbor. But because we're not really in a circle, I'm going to ask that you put your gallery view on, and that if you are so inclined, you put your camera on too, so we can see your face. And so we're going to bow at a diagonal and look at someone on the corner of our screen as we say Shri Ram. And then we're going to bow to the opposite corner, Jai Ram, looking at someone divine in the screen. And then we turn Jai Jai Ram Om. And at this point, look at the center of the screen, but also think of the vastness of the divine, of those that you don't know in person. We hold our hands in Namaste. Namaste means I honor that place inside of you where when you are in that place in you and I am in that place in me, there's only one of us. And so we acknowledge that unity, bringing that sense of harmony, truth, and power that comes from the wisdom of love and compassion for each other. So it would go like this: Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om, Shri Ram, Jai Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. So Murti, the music.
Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. 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 Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om.
Here you might want to move to the next screen and see if
Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Jai Ram Om. Shri Ram, Jai Jai
hold the silence for a moment. Victory to the divine one in you and the divine one in me. Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was very beautifully done. I believe on New Year's, every year, the Dances of Universal Peace community meet together to do an extended version of this dance. Very beautiful. Okay, so next we have our beautiful Green Tara mantra. When I first, let's see, I guess we want to go to speaker view. There we go. When I first created the mandala dance of the 21 phrases of Tara, I referenced one set of movements with a very dear friend, Kachina Palencia. She was at that time a certified leader of the Dances of Universal Peace, and I had just experienced them a little bit here and there, but I knew that there was some expression of the Green Tara mantra. And so I asked if I could work with her. So together we created the movements that I'm going to share with you. The movements that I chose were because I had been receiving training in Tibetan Buddhist practice, and there are various visualizations that one does with mantra. And so I put together the teachings that I'd been receiving from Lama Tenzin here on Maui, and some of the movements that Kachina was demonstrating. And then, of course, I created some things. And so this is what I'd like to share with you. Tara is one expression of the Great Mother Goddess, the one who is the essence of wisdom and compassion. She is an enlightened being, a Buddha, and she has vowed to remain with us until every being is free. She has vowed to remain in the body of a woman until every being is free, to remind our world that the body of a woman is of value, that it has as much value and as much potential and capacity as the body of a man to attain enlightened mind. So her mantra, if you could repeat after me, Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. This means, oh great respected mother, you remove all fears, you give all blessings, so be it. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. Om Tare Tutare Ture Soha. So there are three sections to this expression, to this mantra, three different sets of movements. And we do each 4 times. Okay, so the first one, we imagine, we hold our hands up, Om Tare Tutare, and at this point, the light from the radiant goddess mother Tara is pouring into us because she made that vow. She's going to remain with us, bless us, guide us, help us. So we open to her radiance, Om Tare Tutare. Then we bring all of this power into our heart, Ture. And then on Soha, we're going to bless the elements. So first we bless the element of earth, which is a square. That's the representation, the geometric representation of the earth. So we imagine we're bringing all this light and blessing into our heart, and then we're healing and balancing and blessing the earth. Then We're bringing all this blessing into our heart. And we make a circle. This is the geometric representation of water to heal and balance the water. Om Tare Tutare, Ture, and then we make a triangle. This is the geometric representation of fire. And we ask that the fire in the world be regulated and moderated so that it's not destructive, but of benefit. Om Tare Tutare Ture, and then the wind. We go around and we make a half circle, a half cup, a half sphere. There we go, a half sphere. This represents the wind. Om Tare Tutare Ture So Ha. So those are the 4 elements. And not only are we blessing the elements in our world, but we're blessing the elements in our body. Then the second set of gestures, we make a cup of our hands. And we imagine everything that we love, all of our enjoyments are in our hand, great joy in our hands. And we're offering this up to the spirit of the divine. This makes a connection that pours love and blessing into us. And feeling empowered, we take the power and we send it across to those in front of us. We empower and bless others. Om Tare Tutare Ture So Ha. Om Tare Tutare Ture So Ha. The third gesture, the third set of gestures, our right hand, we create this mudra. Okay, so when it's pointing down, let's see if I can do this here. Down, like this, palm out, fingertips down. This represents generosity, giving. And when these 2 fingers are together, that's the perfection of generosity. Our left hand, ring finger touches the thumb. First, it's the gesture of protection, and then this represents the sources of refuge. The Tara is a source of refuge. So we imagine that we possess everything that Tara possesses. All of the wisdom is within us. So we're going to reach in to this wisdom, and we're going to take the light from our heart out. And we're going to reach out and connect with each other, because we're all reaching out towards each other. So all of our light is together. Now we're going to think about the suffering of the world, and we're going to turn counterclockwise, and we're going to send our light into the world, and we're going to take away all the suffering as if it was a little gray cloud, and we're consuming it in the flames of our wisdom and compassion until it's completely gone. Om Tare, Tu Tare, Ture So. Okay, so the first set with the geometric forms, we're just going to sway side by side. Normally we would be walking in a circle following each other. The second, it's 4 steps to the center and 4 steps back. And then the third, we're turning in place. So imagine now with your hands in your heart, the radiant goddess is directly in front of you, pouring her love and light into you. And as this love and light enters you, you let go of your burden, whatever that might be. And you feel that you yourself are made of light, and that you are dancing in the power and the glory of your own awakened mind. Miri, please, the music.
Om Tare Tu
whatever power, whatever joy, whatever inspiration, whatever guidance we receive from the Great Mother, we ask that it move through the world and bring peace and abundance for all. Okay, how are we doing? Pretty good. Still have a few minutes, which is wonderful because now Adrienne is going to share with us the Beauty Way. So let's spotlight Adrienne.
The Beauty Way dance. The words for this dance originate from the sacred ceremony of the Navajo. The Navajo prefer to be called the Dene. There's no word for religion or art in their language. The closest word to encompass that is Hojon. It's a word which means peace, harmony, beauty, order, balance. It is a word that when disharmony has occurred, they engage in a healing ritual to restore this energy. And that is the Beauty Way ceremony. The words of this dance come from this ceremony. And the movements honor the 4 directions. The words are, I walk with beauty before me. I walk with beauty behind me. I walk with beauty above me. I walk with beauty below me. I walk with beauty all around me as I walk the beauty way. Now this part, the traditional song would say, my words will all be beautiful. My thoughts will all be beautiful. But the version of the song that we have for tonight says, may all my thoughts be beautiful. So may all my thoughts be beautiful. Ho. May all my words be beautiful. Ho. May all my actions be beautiful. Ho. As I walk my life the beauty way. I walk with beauty all around me as I walk the beauty way. The movements, we walk to the right, but I'm not going to be walking. I'm just going to stay in place. I walk with beauty before me. Turning to the back, I walk with beauty behind me with your hands at your back. I walk with beauty above me. I walk with beauty below me. I walk with beauty all around me. Here we're turning and we're bringing our hands from the heavens to the earth. And each of the movements with the hands is gentle, like a caress of the beauty before, behind, above, below, all around me as I walk my life the beauty way. At this point, we would normally be holding hands. So you can imagine that we are in our circle and that we are touching the beauty of each other, holding this energy in balance as we honor all the beauty around us. May all my thoughts be beautiful. Ho. Here we're emphatically, ho, make it so. May all my words be beautiful. Ho. May all my actions be beautiful. Ho. As I walk my life the beauty way. I walk with beauty all around me as I walk the beauty way. Our intention with this dance is to cultivate the action of living harmoniously with all of life. The divine our natural world, our own self, our loved ones, our communities, and even those we consider enemy. All beings, may we live in harmony, recognizing the beauty in all of creation. Committee, I'm ready. Thank you. May we recognize the beauty in all our relations. Aho matakawasan.
Your microphone
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Adrienne. That was beautiful. Yes, the beauty way, how perfect. So now we have in the Sufi tradition, Bismillah. I'm so happy that Parvati, let's spotlight Parvati over here. Yeah. Okay, and we can unspotlight Adrienne. Yeah, there we go. Okay. When we were putting these dances together, I had mentioned that one of the things that moved me most deeply about the Sufis was the statement, Rahman Rahim, mercy and compassion, because it penetrates to the heart of what it is that we are touching into with awakened mind. So Parvati, please take it away.
So as Prema mentioned, this phrase, this practice is coming to us through the tradition of the mystic Sufi practices, which are the mysticism of Islam. So Bismillah, Bismillah, we begin in the name of the one all-pervading reality, which includes everything and excludes nothing. Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. And we acknowledge the ever-present, all-pervading reality of mercy and compassion. So for this particular practice, we're going to be using a movement that comes from the Sufis' practices of zikr, zikr meaning remembrance. So these are often very simple, repetitive movements done either just with the upper body and head, or perhaps the entire body, sometimes even jumping up and down. But they're very trance-inducing. And they're yet another practice intended to get us out of our monkey mind, thinking brain, and get us into our hearts and into our bodies, and to crack open the shell of our heart mind and being, so that the wings of our heart can fly free. So with Bismillah, we're sweeping from the left shoulder over to the right with our head. We're polishing the heart, the chalice of the cup of our heart, and then we bring it down into our heart. So Bismillah, 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 Bismillah. And we do that with our hands over our heart, our hands crossed over the heart. This is the same movement that Sufis use when they are beginning their dervish dancing. And so we're going to be opening for Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, we're going to be opening, so the right hand is on top of the crossed arms in front of the heart, and the right hand is going to open up Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahman, and then Ar-Rahim with the left hand. And again, as we open our heart, and we imagine our heart has wings. And we let this expand to that infinite, all-pervading reality connecting us with the heart of all. So very simple. This would be done a lot differently, actually, if we were in a circle, but I've modified it this way. Sufi zikr practices are often done sitting. And so it's appropriate that we find ourselves sitting. So if you haven't been sitting, I invite you to, because I have designed this to work that way. But otherwise, you're welcome to be standing if that's more comfortable for you.
Bismillah,
And just taking a moment to feel the beauty of the practice saturating your being, the mercy and compassion pervading every cell of your body, every corner of your heart mind, connecting you with the hearts of all beings. Bismillah. We begin each moment in an awareness in the name of that interconnectivity. Amen.
Amen. Wonderful, Parvati. That was really lovely. Thank you so much. So, my friends, we have 2 minutes left. And first, let me introduce you to Jackson. Jackson is our Sakyadhita producer. And we do have one more dance prepared for you, but if we do it, we're going to go over the time. So Jackson, I need to ask you, do we have an extra minute or two to go over? Otherwise, we'll stop here.
We need to end on time because I actually have to go to the next session, unfortunately.
Okay, wonderful. Well, I'm glad we asked. Thank you so much, Jackson, for your
Absolutely.
service to Sakyadhita. So, my beloveds, we'll end here with this gesture of imagining all of the inspiration and all of the joy that we've gathered together. We dedicate it to peace on this earth. We dedicate it so that all beings may enjoy and appreciate the differences in cultures, to celebrate the difference. When His Holiness was asked, should we just have one religion? He said, oh, no, no, no. No, we should celebrate each other's religions. So if you're looking for the words to the songs that we were doing, Jackson has been preparing them in the chat panel, so you can find them in the chat panel. At the top of the chat panel, you can also find the names of the instructors today and the links to our websites. So if you want to dance with us some more, please do. We'll be here tomorrow also at the same time to share the practice of Tara. So now we're going to chant 3 times Om Ahum. With Om, we imagine all of this is an offering. With Ah, transformed into wisdom nectar, and with Hum, it pours down upon the world and brings everybody exactly what they need. 3 times. Om Ahum. Om Ahum. Om Ahum. With great gratitude for this wonderful opportunity and for the preciousness of all of you who took the time to join with us today. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Miri, Parvati, Adrienne. So grateful for your participation today. Thank you.